Hey everybody, we're back. It's 268 of the Audible Farm podcast, and this episode's brought to you by the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. Go to www.fdfineartsassociation.org to find out more. Be sure you check out their latest episode of FDT. Justin Goodnow was on it. It was amazing. It's a laugh riot. I always say something like that, but this one was awesome. It's fun. Towards the end, we started just getting a little off the rails. I mean, heck, we were at Oh Goodies, so why not? You got to check it out. It's super fun. You can listen to it. There's links right on their website to get there, so check it out. It's really cool. This week, I'm going to be talking about something that I see a lot of and I hear a lot of questions about, and even on like a professional level, it's still something that, believe it or not, I mean, I run into this quite frequently, I guess, at my job, and it's just something that I guess maybe people don't think about this long term or think about the broader spectrum of these things. But I'm going to kind of talk about how to, essentially for no money down, just set up your band. I know what you're thinking, like, okay, yeah, music's the main thing, but let's get into the episode and we can talk about it a little bit more. All right, we'll see you after the intro music.
It's the Audible Farm Podcast with your host, Peter Stockdale.
Okay, so you started a band or you have a band, and there's a few things I see that are just, they're really not problems, honestly, but it's just things that I see that it's like, oh, this is kind of weird. I'm going to preface all of this with the obvious argument that when I make reels out of this, people are going to grill me online when I put some of this stuff up there. But anyways, the preface of this all is the music is the thing. Like, that's the main thing. Make good music. None of this stuff matters. And in the end, honestly, none of this stuff really matters that much. But from a marketing standpoint, how to set your band up, how to make everything like super easy and easy to find and organized, and the best ways to like digitally organize things to kind of get things done. So here's what we're going to go for first. You need to set up a band email. Like, Gmail is the obvious answer. Google, just set it up. Your band name at gmail.com, whatever that is, something along those lines. That's the basic portion of this. Like, that seems like such an obvious thing to do, but it's something that, believe it or not, a lot of people don't do. And that's believe it or not, professionally, a lot of people don't even do that, which is kind of mind blowing. So set up a separate email account. Now, if you want to be professional about this, I'm going to tell you how to do all this stuff basically for free. But if you want to be professional about it, spend some money, get a custom email account, but whatever. Just get a Gmail account that comes with Google Drive. There's not like a ton of storage space, but you can at least put a couple things in there if you need to. So you have a place to put things if you need to. And then from there, this email account, you can kind of give different people access to different things within the Google umbrella to kind of do things, whether that's, Google Docs or anything like that. But yeah, that's the first thing. I mean, I think that should be an obvious thing. But at the same time, this is something that a lot of people, when they're like making band stuff, or they're like, oh, I got to set up social media for my band or whatever it is, they don't think about this because it's, again, this isn't stuff that super matters. And I get it that if you're like, oh, I'm just playing music on the weekends every now and then for fun, I'm not really getting paid much money, it doesn't matter. Like, that's cool. You don't have to do any of this stuff. The music is the thing. But if you want to make it really easy, your band name at gmail.com, boom, you got a Google account. And everyone already has a Gmail. Like, I don't barely run into people that don't have them. But the gist is, if you need to, you can kind of use your personal Gmail to kind of link into this somehow. You can share permissions and things like that. Or you can just log directly in and use that as your like band's email account. Oh, you want to contact us? It's your band's name at gmail.com. That's what it is. It's that easy. So it just kind of makes sense. I don't know. That's the first thing. And this is going to make more sense, I think, later, the farther down into this we kind of get. Whatever that email handle is, I guess, whatever becomes before the at gmail.com, that segment is kind of like the identifier for your band. It's kind of the easiest way to find somebody online is to be like, oh, what's their @ symbol? So that kind of leads me into this next thing, and I'm kind of sort of touch on this a little bit, but next up is social media. There's a lot of bands with like spotty social media preferences or presences out there, and I get it. Like, it's tough to be on all of them and do stuff on all of them, but the main thing, I guess, is just kind of like go get them all. You don't really have to do a whole lot on them. Maybe like even if you post like once a month, like that's enough for some of them. It really doesn't, you don't have to go nuts. You really don't have to go crazy. You don't have to put a TikTok out every day. You don't have to put a post out on Facebook every day, but just kind of find out what you like putting on these different channels and then just do that. Obviously, I work at a marketing firm. Consistency is key. Good content is also key. Good content will always trump consistency. And what is actually good content is very debatable. I will say that for sure. Because there's a lot of different avenues you can go with the good content route, where you give people no context, but you give them a comment and then they freak out. You can give people like actually stuff that's like funny or something that is an idea that got finished, but you need to fledge more things out of it. And like, you're going to entice them to go watch this thing or the full version of something, whatever these things happen to be. You just have to create some sort of content on all these platforms. Do you really have to? Again, no, but it is kind of nice to know that like, if I'm going to do something online, it would be neat if like, oh, I videotaped this person's band, I'm going to put them on TikTok. I'd love to be able to tag them in it. That'd be kind of cool. Then the band doesn't even have to do any work. They can just repost the thing and woo, it's just makes things a lot easier. So, band email, then just get social media accounts. So, the easiest thing to do is to use your handle from your email account as your social media handles. The tough part about that is like, let's just say your name is like, Bob Smith Band at gmail.com. I don't know. There might be one of those, but like maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't. But if it's too generic, you're probably not going to be able to find that same handle elsewhere on social medias. So before you create your band email, maybe go sleuthing around a little bit. Is there, a Facebook page that has this @? Is there a Instagram account that has this handle name? Same thing with X and TikTok, YouTube as well. YouTube runs on handles. The channels have handle names. So these, like, the handle is the @, and then whatever the thing is. @Audible Farm. That's the handle. That's the handle everywhere. YouTube @Audible Farm. That's the thing. Audible Farm at gmail.com. That's the thing. So like, it's super easy everywhere you go to find it. Believe it or not, this is where I kind of want to like say, get them all, get all of the social media platforms, even if you're not really going to use them that much. So I didn't get TikTok because it wasn't like a big deal quite yet when like I was quitting doing Audible Farm the first time. So when I went back to go get it, somebody had the handle. They had already had Audible Farm. So I had to go with audible.farm as the handle on Instagram. And it bothered me a lot. There was something about it where like, coming into this Audible Farm 2.0 or whatever you want to call it, the redo. But I'm just kind of like letting the stuff slide. So I didn't really worry too much about it. And then a month or two went by and I looked and the account was gone. So I took @Audible Farm. And so now I have all @Audible Farm. But the point is, it's important to, even if you're not really going to use it, because I knew TikTok existed. Millions of people were on it already posting all sorts of stuff. But I just didn't want to get on there because it was just another thing I had to do. But it was kind of nice when I went there and I was able to get the same handle. Had I not, it really would have bothered me because it's like, you can find me @Audible Farm everywhere except TikTok. And then there I'm, at band name or whatever. So like, kind of got to get them all. Got to catch them all, Pokemon. But at the same time, if you're not going to use them, you can kind of avoid them. But it is kind of a weird thing if I use only Instagram like 98% of the time when I'm out there just goofing around and you don't even have one for your band, I might not ever see anything about your band. It sounds dumb, but like, even if you post once a month, there's still a chance that I might see it. But if you don't ever post anything because you're not there, nobody's going to know. So go out, get all the social medias, get the handle, make sure it kind of ties into your email account. If you want to make it super, super easy for everyone, this is the way to do it, to make it as simple as possible. Again, these are the quote unquote, the free ways to do this. This is, there are ways to go about doing this that you can spend money to make things more official, verifying your account, doing things like that. You don't really have to. You can if you want to. This is here to be like a tool for everyone to use. This is the most general thing I can tell you. Make your ats constant, at whatever, at your band name here, at Audible Farm. I am at Audible Farm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, you name it. Those are the big ones. But those were the social medias there. So if you want me to list them one more time, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. Those are the big 5. You absolutely have to have those. There are others that are used. There are others that kind of come and go. Hop on them. Why not? Just put your stuff out there. Those are the big 5 though. Those are the ones where millions and millions and millions of people are on there all day, every day, constantly looking at stuff. And why not put your stuff out there? Even if you're literally posting the exact same thing content wise from Facebook to Instagram to X to TikTok to YouTube. I mean, you can do it. You can do it. Honestly, there are ways you can like format things to post everywhere on all of those accounts and just be like, this is the thing, I'm making it. It's once a week and I'm just putting it out there. Or like, you can do that if you want to. It's possible. So the benefit of having all these accounts is they all kind of act different and everyone is on a different account and we're all kind of like geared to like figure out different things better. So if you have all of these, one of the things you can do if you have a band is kind of like assign people different roles. It's like, I'm going to do the Facebook, you're going to do the Instagram, you're going to do the TikTok, you're going to do the YouTube or whatever it happens to be. Again, though, when you're creating these accounts, make sure you tie everything back to the band email if possible. So like your Instagram account, you want to log in with the band's email. Your X account, same deal, all the way down the line. You want to find a way to tie all this together. YouTube should already be there because of your Google account that you created to get the band email anyways. So a lot of these things you want to go through and make sure they're all set up so it has the @ symbol you want. YouTube recently went through, and I don't know how long ago it was. It's been a while, but like if you created one, there's a good chance it has numbers at the end of it if you just weren't paying attention. And if you don't like just having random numbers at the end of things, which that kind of bothers me because how am I going to remember whatever your numbers are that you always put in everything? Yeah, I don't know. So just go through and double check everything. If you have a Facebook account, please make it easy for everyone to tag you. Put your @ symbol name in there. Put your handle in there. Make one. Make sure when I go to Facebook, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now. Let's see here. Facebook.com/ I don't know, @Audible Farm. Facebook.com/ @Audible Farm. Did it work? Okay, it went right there. So it's that easy. But if you don't actually go into the settings and tell Facebook this is what you want to do, it's not going to work. You're going to end up with like Facebook.com/P for page / bunch of nonsense, and a Facebook page, again, like I've said this a zillion times, make a page. Don't make a group. Your group should be attached to a page. A page should not be attached to a group, if that makes any sense. A group is like, you have to jump in and join it. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Just make a page. Everyone can follow it. Everyone can go there publicly. They can see what you're posting. It's like a mini website. If you like Facebook all the time, and this is the Midwest here, and Facebook is basically like the social media god of the Midwest. So if that's what you want to use, and that's what you're going to go for, you could use it basically like a website. Go to my Facebook, facebook.com/ @yourbandname. It's that easy. Rolls right off the tongue. Everyone knows the first half anyways, and they just @your band name. Boom, they know how to find all your stuff. So same thing with TikTok, same thing with Instagram, X, YouTube, etc. So there is a fun thing if you're thinking like, I don't want to go log into all of these all the time. Well, Facebook has this cool thing called the Meta Business Suite. Meta is like the company that owns Facebook, and they own Instagram as well. So what you can do is you can log into the Meta Business Suite, and as a matter of fact, you can create a business account on the Business Suite, I believe, with your band email. This is where it gets a little weird and tricky. It's not always so easy to set this stuff up correctly, but that is the fun way to go through and give people permission so their personal accounts can kind of attach into things and use stuff. But the Meta Business Suite has a steep learning curve. So if you don't want to go through all the rigmarole, the big thing to do here, if you want to pick one thing and do it, the one thing you should do is connect your Facebook and Instagram account. Why? Because if you make a post that would translate well to both of them, you can go right into this Meta Business Suite, which has an app you can download on your phone. Oh no, I got to download another app. Whatever, just do it. This Meta Business Suite, so what you do is you log in, and you can make a post, and as long as, like, let's say it has the ramifications, it fits all the parameters for Instagram and Facebook. So basically it has to have a picture and it has to have captions, and that's generally it. There's no other real hard and fast rules. Like if you put a link in, it might not work on your Instagram because it just doesn't work like that, but you can put links in there, all sorts of goodies. However, the algorithms work differently, which is kind of fun. So you can actually like create this post and then sort of customize it for each one if you really want to. But the easy thing to do is to go in there, create a post, and just there it is. The other fun thing you can do with that is schedule posts. So you can go in there and you can be like, here, I just want to make a post every Monday that says, whatever, thank you to all the places I played this weekend, something, and then here's my upcoming shows or whatever, and you can actually like plan these things out, as dumb as it sounds, and you can like plug in a picture and tag the people and yada, 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 and schedule all this stuff out like a month in advance and not have to worry about waking up on Monday, going to work, and then scheduling a thing out. And I got to make sure I post it in the morning, and then you're not like at work, like on your phone, like, oh, I'm going to post for my band because it's important, and you just schedule all the stuff out. That's the easy way to do it. I know it's a pain in the butt to schedule stuff, but I guess to me, it's easier to like spend an hour at the beginning of a month to try to like set everything up for the whole month than it is to like chisel out like half an hour or so, like out of a day that you don't really have a half an hour to chisel out. I don't know. But again, this is just like the easy way to post on all of these accounts. Now, there are ways you can post on everything, X and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn. I mean, if you want to do a LinkedIn account, you can. I mean, you can literally just go down all of the social medias that are like of any sort of importance and post to almost all of them. But a lot of times these cost money. So the problem is, once again, the barrier of money. So with the band email, you can create a really custom one. You got to spend money, but we're not going to do that. And the same thing with the band social media. We're not really going to spend any money on this. What you just have to do is plan it out. And I know it sucks to plan things out, but guess what? That's all we do. If you're listening to this, you probably aren't listening to this because you're a business person. You're probably listening to this because you're a band person and you have a band or you're in a band. But your band is a business, and whether or not you really think it is. So maybe this is something that's kind of resonating with people. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But let's go down another avenue here. So like Facebook could be good for like everyday interactions about things. I have very regimented posts. They're very business-like. It's almost like a blog. Instagram could be more like off the cuff things, or it could be like planned photos, like, oh, great show this weekend, here's 5 photos from it or whatever. Add a zillion hashtags because Instagram likes hashtags or whatever. X, you can just post your daily nonsense on there. I'm not really a big fan of going on X. It's not as fun as it used to be, but it exists and people are on there and they still interact. So it could be a way to go. I know there's like in the podcast world, there's some podcasts that do really well on X, but it's hasn't proven very fruitful for me. Maybe in the last like 5 to 10 years. But again, you got to go out there and you got to try something sometime. TikTok is another fun one. You can like curate things on there or go live or just goof around. It's kind of like a Snapchat type type deal. Not exactly, but it has that type of a feel. But yeah, if you want to make video content, that's a great place to put it out, especially in the short form. If you want to do long form video content, which is basically this and what I like to do, because you can chop long form stuff up and make it shorter. You can go to YouTube. That's where that stuff is at. You can create little mini series for your band. You can put your music videos on there. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can do, we do a song every Monday. And that's a fun one where it's like, if you do a new song every Monday, I'm going to give a shout out to Jared Benson, who's playing one song a week until he hits 10,000 on TikTok, I believe, which he's doing it. And he's like, I don't know, 30 or 40 weeks in, or he's doing 10,000, excuse me, not 1,000, 10,000 followers. But like that's a thing where if he really wanted to, he could just do that and post that on every account. It would work, so like if you have like a weekly thing where you're going to like, I'm going to post every Monday and here's the song and this is the hook or whatever, like you could just post it on everything. So you don't really have to just choose one. But if you want to do long form stuff, you can make a lot of the official stuff on YouTube, but there's really no harm in putting official music videos on Facebook or, X or whatever. I guess, unless you really just want to centralize it to one place, or if you have any, like, I don't know, I wouldn't really be worried like anybody would, I guess, like, quote unquote, steal it from anywhere. Cause you just take it from any account anywhere. I mean, you can do that on any of these platforms, I guess, if you really wanted to. So yeah, I mean, like a lot of these platforms, you can kind of cross a lot of stuff over. You just make one post for one thing, you schedule it out for Tuesday, and then wham, you just do the same thing for the next one, schedule it out for Tuesday. And then I swear, like you could sit down for like an hour and have a whole month of stuff just already like either pre-planned or done, and not even have to worry about like, I don't have to make my post on Thursday that says like, I hope you're ready for the weekend. I got these 2 shows lined up or something. You don't have to do any of that. It's already there as long as nothing falls through and everything. But then, that's, I don't know. Then you can go back and change it. I don't know. Just go ahead and change it. It's not that big a deal. But like some of these things you're thinking like, I have these accounts, but like I'd still like to have somewhere to like maybe put my stuff for sale. And it's like, well, you can sell stuff on TikTok, you can sell stuff on Facebook. I believe Instagram might have a feature, some kind of, but I know for sure Facebook and TikTok you can do it. YouTube, if you have a large enough following, I'm fairly certain you can do it through YouTube as well. But let's just say you're setting this up from the get-go and you don't have anything else to do. You don't have massive following. You don't want to pay any money. You don't want to try and set up stuff there. You can do stuff as a band. These are some sites I would say like you can kind of go to and kind of like incorporate stuff into them. These would be like extras, I would say. These ones are not 100% necessary, but they're definitely avenues to pursue if you really want to. So make a Bandcamp account. Some of you are probably listening to this and you're like, I have no clue what Bandcamp is. Well, Bandcamp is a place where you can put your music and you can let people listen to it or listen to 30 seconds of it or get 3 plays for free and then the other ones are going to cost money or whatever. You can set things up there in a way where you can like literally just make a shop out of your music. I've got these singles. You can buy each one for 99 cents or you can buy all 10 of these singles and $7 or something like that. Three Finger Betty, the band I'm in, has a Bandcamp account, and it was a place we drove a lot of people to for a while. That was like our big push. It's like, this is where our album is. Buy it there if you want to. Listen to it there if you want to. You don't have to have Spotify. You don't have to do anything. It's right there. But it was a nice place to kind of just usher everything over to. Music videos can kind of go on there, but it's mostly just CDs. It's like CDs, albums, singles, digital. You can actually sell like physical media over there as well. So an actual CD, like you can sell that. You can do cassettes, t-shirts, literally whatever you want. You can just set up a shop on the site. It is fairly customizable. It integrates pretty well with other things that I've noticed when I've tried it. There are fees that go along with this, but it's only if you ever sell stuff. So you really don't owe them any money for anything. You can literally set up a Bandcamp account for free. And on all of your social media accounts, make sure that you point people towards these things so that they know that these exist. You can't just like have them and never tell anyone. Shop.audiblefarm.com, like for example. But that is a great place. That's a great place you can go and you can put a lot of information there. There are other places that are, I want to say, like similar-ish, but they're kind of similar. A good example would be SoundCloud. And another example would be Reverb Nation. So SoundCloud, this is going to sound crazy, but SoundCloud was like a big place for rappers for a while. That was like a lot of rappers put stuff on there, got millions of views, got famous from there, whatever. And I used it for podcast hosting for years. They had an RSS feed feature that I could use, and I loved it. So that's one thing. It kind of depends. Like, it's not really not for music, but it is for music. It's pretty broad. There's not really a whole lot of, I don't want to say not rules, but there's not really a whole lot of, it's not a very pointed avenue. Like, you can have podcasts on there. I've seen radios that have radio shows on there. A lot of people have podcasts on there that started them back in the day because it was one of the avenues that, before podcasting was what it is today, that's where they would go. That's an avenue. Otherwise, Reverb Nation is another one that like I had spent a lot of time on with Three Finger Betty when it was first there. Now I don't spend as much time on there because it's kind of empty. I went online. I was like, is Reverb Nation still there? Yeah, it's old school, but it's still alive is what the return says. So, you got music on there. You can put, I want to say that like Reverb Nation was kind of like a profile for your band. Like, you could put, here's our professional pictures. Here's all of our professional information, our bio. Here's where you can find more information. Here's some footage. Here's some video. Here's some audio. Here's an album. Here's whatever. It was kind of like an EPK of sorts. Not like 1,000%, but like it felt like that. They were trying to do something in that area. And they have ties to different things like contests for festivals and showcases, and you can put your music on different playlists and all sorts of stuff on that channel. So it's there. I'm not sure I would recommend it 100% as like the avenue to go. If you had to choose one of these, I lean heavily towards Bandcamp, especially because of its feature to have a shop. Yes, again, there are fees, so if you sell stuff, they're going to take a fee. But at the same time, they do also have Bandcamp Fridays every now and then where there's no fees. And those are the days where you can really kind of push people towards your Bandcamp account and alleviate those fees. But one of the things on here is, like, where do people go if they want to find out where you're playing next? Well, a good place would be if you have a Facebook page, you can make Facebook events and you can put those in there. Or you can make a graphic on your Facebook account that has your upcoming shows for the month or for the next month or for the next 30 days. Or you make one every Monday for the full week or whatever it happens to be. But as long as it's somewhere where people can find it easily without hunting too hard through your Facebook account, because things tend to get lost in there. Another avenue you could do is you could do Bands in Town. So Bands in Town is an option. It's a place you can create a profile. You can put all your shows in there. This is where we're playing. These are the dates. And it does link into a few different services. I want to say that you can link it to your Spotify. Don't 100% quote me on that, but that is an avenue. I know that I want to say Three Finger Betty did or does have one. I haven't used it in a long time. It was I want to say old school when I started using it, but it's like a thing. It's still a thing now. So I still get emails from bands that are going on tour that every now and then they come from Bands in Town. And like I said, I'm fairly certain you can link it together with a Spotify account to make like your band's Spotify page, if that's an avenue you're going to go down. That one costs money. It's not always free to get your money, your music out there. You could, in theory, create a Spotify account for free though. So there are ways to go about and do some of those things, but the long and short of it is you can tie some band dates into that and really make, things look professional. And that's kind of what we're going for here. You got this Facebook account, this Instagram account, this X, this TikTok, this YouTube. You got your band's email account. You got a Bandcamp. Maybe you got a Bands in Town. One of the things that I like to do with all this is like, where do you push people towards? Or like, let's put a pin in that for a second, because I got to do one thing before I get there. Make sure all these accounts have like something similar between them. Possibly the profile picture. It's very difficult to find certain bands or certain people sometimes when they have like 3 or 4 accounts, which there are a lot of people that have accounts they abandoned and came back to, and then a different one and then a personal one, and they're all just like pictures of them maybe with or without a guitar. And it's like, how do I know which ones of these I have to tag? So maybe make something kind of official for the profile picture for all these, make them easy to find. But if you want to like push everyone towards somewhere, it's always tough to be like, well, I have all these accounts. What do I say when I'm on the mic? I can't just be like, find me on Facebook and Instagram and X and TikTok and YouTube and Bandcamp and Bands in Town and send me an email like at this. Like that's one of the reasons you got to have your same at symbol. Find me all over social media at my band name, insert here.com or whatever the heck you want to put in there, at Audible Farm. Wherever you're at on social media, find me at Audible Farm. Wherever you're at online, at Audible. It's the same thing. So do that with your band. But at the same time, sometimes it's like you're not really telling anyone where to go. You're not just being like, check out my Instagram or something. You know, you're not like, I'm very active on Facebook, so make sure you follow me. Well, what if they don't use Facebook? You know, the easiest thing I have found is to guide them to one place. Find one place that's going to be your hub. It's going to be a little difficult for Instagram to be your hub because they only allow for one link. More on that in a second. X is the same way. I believe there's only the allowance for one link, external link. So if they go to your profile, you can only link to one place. TikTok, I believe, is also the same way. If it's allowed, I think it is, but they might also allow for like a YouTube account to attach in there. YouTube, you can actually put as many links in there as you want to. I think maybe the limit's 10 or 15 or something, but you're not going to have that many. So the other one is Facebook. Facebook, you can actually like go through a lot of the accounts, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for sure. And you can like log into them and like directly attach these accounts to your Facebook account. And it'll be like, this is this person's official social media presence here, 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 and here. So if I had to recommend one of these, it's the obvious one for the Midwest. It's Facebook. Lately, I feel I'm leaning a lot more towards YouTube though. So Facebook is awesome because what you can do on Facebook is just put all the links you want to. Here's my link to my shop. Here's my link to my Bandcamp. Here's my link to my whatever. And you can just stack a bunch of them in there and then people know where to find all your stuff. It's not always as easy as being like, here's the description, here's the link, here's the description, here's the link. It's just links you're just slamming in there for the most part. Maybe they gave a feature now to like put descriptors in there, but it wasn't always that easy. So that's one thing I really liked about YouTube. You can be like, this is a Spotify account, or this is a whatever, this is YouTube or whatever. And here's my Facebook, and then blam, here it is. And a lot of times if you have the link correct and a direct actual link, it will just be like, oh, and it will pull the icon for that platform. So it'll have like a little Facebook icon on there, or it'll have like a little Instagram, you know, the little camera thing or the X thing or whatever it happens to be. I believe it actually pulls those off of the website. I can't remember what the name for those things are. It's funny because I do work at a marketing place, so I probably should look it up. This is really entertaining podcasting, isn't it? Oh, it's the favicon, the favorite icon. That's right. Okay. So and that's how you learn stuff, people. I've heard that 1,000 times at work and I forgot it. But yeah, Audible Farm's got a favicon. So if you link to that, it'll do the same thing. But if you want to send everyone to one place and have it be like the showcase of all of your stuff, wouldn't you want a website? And I get it, like, oh, wow, a website's a dream. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. It costs money and yada, yada. Yes, it does. So we are going to skip around the website for a second, and we're going to go to this other little thing called Linktree. There are other avenues like Linktree, but I do want to say Linktree is kind of like the one. It's not like don't go to these other ones. There are other ones. There are other ones people use. People do a lot of things on these little websites. But what they do is you can create an account and it gives you like a little page. And it's optimized for both web browsers and phones. but it's like this little thing of like, here's all my links, like an actual quote unquote link tree, a tree of links. So you can organize them on there however you want. I have one with Audible Farm, and I've helped people with bands set these up, and it's really fun to see what people want to put on there. Or you show them kind of how to do it and just let them do it themselves, and they run with it, and they've done some fun stuff. So what you can do is you can be like, find me on social media, and then you put your 4 social media links there, and you can group it all together. And then you can like below that, it's like, check out my latest music video. Maybe you put that at the top because you really want them to find that. You can link all of your social medias in there as well. So when they log in, or not log in, they just go to your website, your Linktree website, and they're like, oh, here's the icon, here's the handle. It says, Audible Farm, and it's like, here's all the links, and right at the top, you can stack all of your social media, so they can just be like, oh, this is the Facebook icon. I know what that is. Boink, wham, I'm right on their Facebook, follow. And then you go back to the link tree, and you're like, oh, this is their Instagram, click, boink, oh, now follow. It makes it that easy for people just to find all of your stuff and follow all of it. They can watch your latest music video. You can put links to different things on there. It doesn't have to even be your stuff. You can have a section that you have up there and you change. You can feature other people's things. You can say, hey, I was on a podcast, check it out. Here's a link to it. Whatever you want to do with these link trees. And that's my favorite thing about it. It's flexible. It's large enough that you can do a lot of things on there, and they just look kind of neat. I didn't realize this until I came back to Audible Farm, and it's just like, oh, what are we going to do here? Linktree, boom. It's like, oh, I can link my shop to this. So I link my shop up with it, which my shop is not actually hosted over at Bandcamp. It is hosted at a different place. But again, if this is for band stuff, this is kind of the route to go. Again, these are the free options. I'm also using a free option on a different website. It's called Big Cartel. People used to use it. Not as many people do anymore. Whatever. I'm still over there. I just don't want to change stuff at the moment. So that's where I'm at. But this link tree can be your website. You can just be like, everybody find me here's my Linktree website. You can have that at the bottom of everything. If you really want to get fancy, you can find a free QR code creator and have it go to your Linktree and put that on the bottom of your little poster that you have or whatever. So when people are watching you play live, they can just walk up and scan the QR code and find all of your stuff in one location without having to do anything. You don't have to remember this Linktree address. You don't have to remember an @ You don't have to do anything. It's that simple. So what I've done here, and this is going to sound absolutely loony, but you can use your Linktree with a handle, and if your handle's the same, you'll never forget these things. Nobody else will ever forget them. It's tough when it's just like, over here I'm audible.farm, and over here I'm the Audible Farm, and over here I'm at Audible Farm 192, and at over here I'm Audible_farm . And it's like, how are people supposed to remember this stuff? How are people supposed to be able to find you? It's not always easy to find people online. Let's make it easy. Let's make it easy for everyone to find our stuff. Why wouldn't you want to? I don't know, but I understand some of it just comes down to you need to have time. I didn't have time to record a podcast episode last week. I didn't even have time to. Well, I did have time. It was Labor Day week, and I was just like, I'm in. Let's do this. I've been working pretty hard, but I don't have time to do stuff all the time. I don't always post consistently with my reels. I get, sometimes I'll post too many in a row because I just schedule them out, and I'm like, tomorrow I'll change everything, and then I never do, and then it's like there's a reel every day for like 2 weeks or whatever. But it just takes a little bit of time. And if this is something that's important to you, maybe set it up like this. If this is something that's not important to you, just play the music. The music's the important part here. I do want to say, though, that this little 1, 2, 3, 4 step, I should create a graphic for this. I should sell this. I should make a class out of this. This is something that, and I've said it in the beginning, like legitimate businesses don't do this correctly. And it's not like this is the correct way to do it. But the reason that this is the way to do it is if you have one band email account that is secure with like one person in charge of it that you can trust, or that's kind of the way to do it. And then if this person that you do know and trust decides to ever leave the band and the band continues on, they can pass this on to the next person they trust. That's the way you want to set all this stuff up. So that way, only the people that have the access to this can log into all of these different social media accounts, and somebody doesn't just run away with it. This is also a good way to be like, even if there's no malicious intent, what if, like, Bobby Stevie created the Facebook page but never gave anyone else permission to it, and then doesn't want to do anything with it or moves, or can't pass it on to anyone else. Then you're just stuck and you have to create a whole nother one. Same thing with the YouTube account. Like that's one that I've seen so many times where people have like 4 or 5 YouTube accounts, and then you have to try to find a way to, like, who owns this account and how can I interact with it? And you're like trying to find ways to interact with this account. And it's not always easy to find out what Google account it's attached to, or if there's even a contact email set up. So these are the things that you want to go through and set it up like this for security. I get it that some of these people listening that are probably like singer-songwriters, and they're like, well, I'm the guy, so it really doesn't matter. Well, okay, you don't have to do it this way, but I feel like this is the easiest way to set it up. This is the easiest way to separate all this stuff, especially in a world where, like, everything is so blended together. The stuff that you're trying to do for business is also in your personal life and everything. And this was the easiest way I found to, like, disconnect everything from this section of my life from actually the bands I was in and my personal life and my job and or whatever else I was doing. Everything had to have its own little digital footprint, and that's really what you're looking for here. Is if you want to market your band, just have a digital footprint, have a place where people know that you're always there and they'll always be able to find you. Yes, you have 5 accounts here. Maybe you're only using Facebook and Instagram. Well, that's cool. That's a big hunk of the market. Maybe your stuff's not going to go over on X because it's not known to, like, help bands blow up. Well, then that's cool. Don't go on X too much, but, like, have an account there, maybe post your stuff every now and then, slam a music video in there, just check back every couple of months and see what's going on. You never know. But the thing is, you want to have a place where everyone can go, and this link tree is probably the easiest way to do it. This has been like the free, here's how you do it thing. I mean, you can put your events on there. You can put your social media on there. You can put your shop on there. You can link to your shop. You can actually integrate the shop into your Linktree page, so it has like a little shop tab that they flip over to, and they can see all your stuff from your shop. Music videos, you can link to them on there. Here's my YouTube music link. Here's my Apple Music link. Here's my Spotify link, so that people don't have to hunt you down on all of these places. So you can put all of those on there. If you're somebody that has music online somewhere, that's a great way to do this. You can do all of these things. One of my favorite things I saw somebody do on there that I didn't even think of doing, and this is my favorite thing probably out of all this, because you learn things from people. If you teach someone, like, here's what you can do with this, they're going to apply it and take something else that they're thinking of and put it in here. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, this is like greedy or whatever, but, like, somebody said, hey, if I'm going to send people here anyways, and, like, let's say I say it at a show and they don't have cash and they want to tip me, this is how you can give me a tip. And they put their links on there on people how to tip them. And it's like, that is the most genius thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Yes, I've seen the tip accounts, in QR codes or like the Venmo handles and things like that on posters and whatever. I've seen that at shows. But, like, this was the first time I was like, somebody was like, yeah, I'm putting it on my Linktree. And it's like, oh, snap. That's genius. So that's another avenue. You put your Venmo up there, put your Cash App up there, your PayPal, tell people, you tip me, throw me some tips. This is how you can do it. Oh, it's such a fun thing to do. So it's really kind of endless. You can put all sorts of good stuff on there. And it's that place is the hub. You say, everyone go here, and from here you can do whatever you want. Oh, you don't use X? Well, then don't click on it. You don't use TikTok? Don't click on it. But if you have literally any of the other social medias, I'm there. Do you want to? Oh, I made a music video. You want to see it? It's here. You want more? They're over there. Do you want to listen to my stuff? It's here. What platform do you use to listen to? It doesn't matter, because I have them all. They're right here. You don't have to hunt me down and find me anywhere. This is the place to find me. And I think that is the thing that is the most important, that a lot of people always forget, is there needs to be a place. The place is obviously the website. That's the place, but we don't want to spend money, and this is the way to do it without spending money. Now, having said that, I do recommend buying your band's website. I know what you're thinking, like, buy the domain, just do it. you don't have to put a site actually attach it to the domain, but just buy the domain. It costs like $20 a year. So I made it, 40 minutes into this without saying, spend some money. But it's fun. Why not? It's so much easier to say go to audiblefarm.com than it is to be go to linktree.audiblefarm or like whatever. And that's a funny thing. I don't even know what my linktr.ee/audiblefarm. But like that doesn't really roll off the tongue. And I don't even know, like I don't think if you go to linktree.com/audiblefarm, I don't think that works. Audible Farm. Let's see. Oh, it does. Linktree.com/audiblefarm will redirect you. So I learned something here today. But there you go. That's what you can do. And I mean, like, I feel like this is probably the best avenue to use. You can say linktree.com/@yourband. But if you don't want to say that, and again, people are probably like, I don't know what a Linktree is. I'm not going to that website. I don't care. It's too much typing. It's too many words. Why not yourband or www.yourband.com? Like that's easy. That's less words to type. That's less stuff to put in. It's so easy to find. I know you're thinking, I don't know how to build a website. I don't want to build a website. I don't want to pay someone to build a website. Building websites is difficult. It's cumbersome, or it just takes too much time. It's not actually that hard. I just don't want to spend 20 hours making one. And it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's understandable. Well, spend an hour on your Linktree page and put all your links in there. And then, if you know a little bit of fancy stuff, or if you can use the Google machine or any of the AI chat features that are out there on literally every platform now, just ask it, how do I redirect my website to here? And it'll tell you. Where do you buy a website? You can buy a website, domains, all over the internet. There's all sorts of places. A lot of them are very reputable. The obvious ones are probably GoDaddy and or Wix. I believe Google used to have a domain feature. I'm not sure if they still do. But yeah, you can buy domains anywhere. That's just the www.blablabla.com. That's an address. That's like buying a plot of land with nothing on it. The website would be like you plopping up a digital business on this plot of land. So you don't have to make a website. You can just buy that, redirect it to your Linktree, and then people can go anywhere they want to from your Linktree. So for $20 a year or whatever it would cost you, you can essentially have a website and have this all organized and be the most professional garage band in your area if you want to. I know this all takes time. This all takes energy and money. Well, guess what? There's marketing companies out there that can help you. I work for one that will. But I gave away the world's most obvious secrets. We all know this stuff. Everybody knows these are the most popular social medias. We've all seen posts from them. We've all been to these places. Can your band benefit from having a Pinterest account? I don't know. Do you want to create one? Sure, go for it. Do it. You want a Twitch account too? Do it. I don't know if there are other ones that you can benefit from more than these ones, but just set them up, and everyone knows it's easiest to find, at WWE, that's the handle everywhere. Everyone knows it, it's like, why wouldn't you want to make yours that easy? I know you're not going to have like a 3-letter acronym that's going to be free to use and you're going to be able to find one, but why not try and make it all the same, or why not try to make it all as easy to find as possible for everyone involved? Maybe not just, your fans. It's just, it's easier to say. I don't know. So yeah, use these band sites, use Bandcamp. You can have a shop online. You can send people there. People can actually pay you money for your digital media. So like an example of something that I know somebody that I had helped create a Bandcamp account for. And we said that like the stuff is available to listen, but here's some stuff that was only available on CD that we found copies of. And we made digital copies of these things and we put them on Bandcamp. And if you want to buy them, you can buy them. They're very cheap because they were like demos or whatever that somebody had created for this person. But if you want to buy them, you can buy them. That's part of history. It's like, here's 10 songs. It's $5 or whatever. Here's like 15 songs recorded live out of a mixer on a place that, at a show. Whatever, it's $5, whatever you want to put on it. So like there's places you can sell some of this stuff, and believe it or not, people will be willing to support you and buy these things. You can put your merch on there, shirts, hats, everything. You can ship from there. You can do a lot of that stuff. You do actually have to do work. If somebody buys stuff from you, you do actually have to put it in a box and go to the post office and do things. But at the same time, if you like people wearing your stuff, maybe that's a good avenue to take. If you don't have merch, maybe that one's not an avenue you want to go down. Bands in town, if you want to do that for a nice place for everyone to find your band's information, where you're playing, things like that, that might be a good avenue for you. If you think Facebook is good enough with its events, just leave it as that. If you want to do the website thing, make one. If you want to have one and you don't want to make one, pay someone to make one. If you paid someone to make one and you don't like it, pay someone else. If you want to do the cheapest, easiest route you can do that's not actually super official looking, but it's the best workaround for free, Linktree. These are the secrets. They're not really secrets. Everybody knows them. Everybody's seen this stuff. It's always easiest to find these places if they all labeled the same. It's always nice when all the information's in one location. You don't have to go hunting and searching all over some convoluted website to find somebody's social media. Is it on the side? Is it at the bottom? Well, it only links to 3 of them and 2 of the links are broken. And I did find a YouTube account, but it doesn't actually say it's the official. They're all here. It's so nice to have them all here. So if you're going to take anything away from this, take away just the general advice of make your stuff easy to find anywhere. Be where the people are that want to hear the stuff that you have to say or want to see the things that you want to show them. Whatever your talent is, whatever your gift and your genius is, that is the easiest way to do it. If none of this interests you and for some reason you're still listening to this, more power to you. Thank you for listening to me rant for a while. But these are things that, again, I see professional businesses that don't have this down. I don't expect every band to be organized this way. I understand that this is overkill for a lot of situations, especially if it's just a one-man operation, or especially if it's a really small thing, or a band that's just for fun, or we're never actually going to do anything. We're just goofing off. You don't really need to go through and go super nuts with this stuff. But if you want to do it in a way that's organized and professional and has some longevity and is easy to find for everyone and easy to digest, and this would be the route I would recommend. I gave away a couple other little tidbits in here that I would say are not the obvious stuff, like turning your Linktree into a QR code and putting it there, and then people can scan it and give you a tip. That was like the coolest thing I ever heard. I probably should have just kept that to myself, but you know what? That's what this podcast is for. This podcast is for talking to people and learning these things and bettering what we're doing, giving the advice, learning from other people's lessons and things like that. So if you guys enjoyed this, I hope you, I don't know, leave a comment. Let me know. I guess if you go to my Linktree, my Venmo's on there. Venmo me some money. No, I'm just kidding. Don't Venmo me anything. Go to the website, go to the shop, go to the Patreon. If you want to watch episodes a day early, that's where the Patreon is good for. Episodes a day early. The shop is awesome too. All that stuff is at Linktree, but you know what? All this stuff is at audiblefarm.com. And yes, there's people that are just like, when I go to Audible Farm, it goes somewhere else. Yeah, it goes to audiblefarmpodcast.com because I own them both. Because why not? I don't know. I wanted to own them both, and I was going to do different things with them, and this is just the way I set it up, and this is how it is for now. So deal with it. And if this was good, let me know. If you want to hear more of this kind of stuff, I do have a handful of other topics that are in this avenue that I would like to discuss. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end for this. But let's talk about some more stuff in the outro, and I will talk to you in the outro. Okay, that was it. 268 solo episode. It's done. What do you guys think? Is that too much information? Are there people out there that are like, yeah, duh? Or are there people out there that are still listening that are like, I never even thought about any of this stuff? Or was there any good advice? If there was anything good, let me know. If there was anything bad, keep it to yourself. No, I'm just kidding. Let me know. I don't care. Tell me what you thought about this episode. I think this is stuff that's really interesting, but then again, this is what I do for a job, is generally organize a lot of these things like this. There are a lot of interactions I have where places don't have every social media account, and it blows me away. Even when it's like offered to be like, can we go get all these for you and organize them? Or would you like me to? Or is that something that you just do not want to do? And I don't want to be on these platforms. Okay, and you just, in that situation, you just go with it because they're the client. You try and persuade them towards your angle. You give them options. You give them the things that you give them data points. But again, this is something where, like, if you want to ignore data, if you want to ignore the obvious answer of being out there where the people will see you, but you still want to play a band, maybe what you're doing is what you love, and you don't need to worry anymore about any of this stuff. That's cool too. Maybe you think like this is difficult, someone should manage it. That's an option. There are places that do that. There are people that will do that for you. There are a lot of people that will do that for you. I might know a few people that would do that for you. Of course, this is going to cost money though, because this takes time. All this stuff is free. The downfall is that it takes time. Your cost is your time. So it's up to you how you want to tackle all of this stuff. But I do feel that this stuff that I talked about in this episode was pretty important. So if you guys liked it, I hope you, check out more Audible Farm stuff. audiblefarm.com. I mentioned all the social media handles, all the everything in the episode. Wherever you're listening, let me know. And yeah, thanks everybody. Make sure you check out Fort Dodge Fine Arts' most recent episode of FDT, Fort Dodge T, ladies and gentlemen. One of the coolest intro songs in the whole podcast game, especially in the local podcast game. That's super cool. Custom made. The only one I know that has a custom made one. That's pretty awesome. So the most recent episode was with Justin Goodnow. I do know they've made it one whole year of podcasting, so congratulations to the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. Well deserved. Shelley Bodorf, hats off to you. I would have actually taken my hat off, but my headphones would have went flying. So yeah, I was also on the McAllister Hours recently, so if you guys missed that or any of the episodes where I talked about that, go back and listen to that. That's a little bit more candid take on like what I feel and think about things. This is the positive place. This is the place where the good stories get told and everybody learns, and new things become known by everyone. This is the fun news outlet for everybody, and over there it's a little bit more serious talk, even though it was very jovial and we laughed through literally the whole thing. But go check that episode out on McAllister Hours if you want to. There's links recently to all of Coleman McAllister's stuff, so go listen to that episode as well. Sorry for missing a week. No excuses. I just took a week off because I felt like it. So thanks everybody. Working on new guests. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll catch you next week. I'm Ron Burgundy. Peace.